Kunja Bihari.
Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari
Gopi Jana Vallabha
Kunja Bihari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Paribrajacharya Stotra Shatasi Srimad Sila Vaicharanaravindra Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Srimad Bhagavad Gita Ki Gaura Premanande All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Jutapadakamalaam Sri Gurun Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanmitam Tam Sanjeevam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Visakhanvitamscha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shanyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyaiva ca Patitanang Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरतिषे नमः नीलाचल निवासाय नित्याय परमात्मने बलभद्र सुभद्राभ्यां जगन्नाथाय ते नमः श्रीनृसिंह जय नृसिंह जय जय नृसिंह प्रह्लादेश जय पद्मा मुख पद्मभिङ्ग हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय
नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय
नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय
नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
So continuing reading from Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 6, Dhyana Yoga, text number 34, Arjuna is speaking. Chanchalam hi mana Krishna
चञ्चलं हि मनः कृष्ण
Pramathi balabadridham Tashyaham nigraham manye
विग्रहं मन्ये
Vayoriva sudushkaram Chanchalam hi mana Krishna
चञ्चलं हि मनः कृष्ण
Pramathi balabadridham
प्रमाथि बलवदृढम्
Tashyaham nigraham manye
तस्याहं विग्रहं मन्ये
Vayoriva sudushkaram
वायोरिव सुदुष्करम्
Chanchalam hi mana Krishna
चञ्चलं हि मनः कृष्ण
Pramathi balabadridham
प्रमाथि बलवदृढम्
Tasyaham nigraham manye
तस्याहं विग्रहं मन्ये
Vayoriva sudushkaram.
वायोरिव सुदुष्करम्
Please repeat.
चञ्चलं हि मनः कृष्ण
चञ्चलं हि मनः कृष्ण
प्रमाथि बलवदृढम्
प्रमाथि बलवदृढम्
तस्याहं निग्रहं मन्ये
तस्याहं निग्रहं मन्ये
वायोरिव सुदुष्करम्
वायोरिव सुदुष्करम् चञ्चलं हि मनः कृष्ण
चञ्चलं हि मनः कृष्ण
प्रमाथि बलवदृढम्
प्रमाथि बलवदृढम्
Tasyaham sigraham manye.
तस्याहं निग्रहं मन्ये
Vayor iva suduskaram.
वायोरिव सुदुष्करम्
Chanchalam himalaha Krishna.
चञ्चलं हि मनः कृष्ण
Pramati balavakridham.
प्रमाथि बलवदृढम्
Tasyaham nigraham manye.
तस्याहं निग्रहं मन्ये
Vayoreva suduskaram.
वायुरिव सुदुष्करम्
Okay. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada ki.
जय
Chanchalam,
चञ्चलं
flickering.
flickering
He certainly.
certainly
Manaha,
मनः
mind.
mind
Krishna,
कृष्ण
O Krishna.
ओ कृष्ण
Pramathi,
प्रमाथि
agitating.
agitated
Balabat,
बलवत्
strong.
strong
Dridham,
दृढम्
obstinate.
obstinate
Tasya,
तस्य
it's
is
aham,
अहम्
I.
I
Nigraham,
निग्रहं
subduing.
subduing
Manye,
मन्ये
think.
think
Vayoho,
वायोः
of the wind.
of the wind
Iva,
इव
like.
like
Suduskaram,
सुदुष्करम्
difficult.
difficult
Translation. For the mind is restless, turbulent, obstinate, and very strong, O Krishna, and to subdue it, I think, is more difficult than controlling the wind. Purport. The mind is so strong and obstinate that it sometimes overcomes the intelligence, although the mind is supposed to be subservient to the intelligence. For a man in the practical world who has to fight so many opposing elements, it is certainly very difficult to control the mind. Artificially, one may establish a mental equilibrium by both friends and enemy. But ultimately, no worldly man can do so, for this is more difficult than controlling the raging wind. In the Vedic literature, Kathopanishad 133-4, it is said, Atmanam Rathinam Vidhi Shariram Rathamevacha Buddhim tu Sarathim Vidhi Manah Pragriham Evacha. Uh, Indriyani Hayenir Ahu Vishayangs Tesu Gocharan Atmendriya Manoyuktam Bhakti Ahur Manishinaha. The individual is the passenger in the car of the material body, and intelligence is the driver. Mind is the driving instrument, and the senses are the horses. The self is thus the enjoyer or sufferer in the association of the mind and senses. So, it is understood by great thinkers. Intelligence is supposed to direct the mind, but the mind is so strong and obstinate that it often overcomes even one's own intelligence, as an acute infection may surpass the efficacy of medicine. Such a strong mind is supposed to be controlled by the practice of yoga, but such practice is never practical for a worldly person like Arjuna. And what can we say of modern man? The simile used here is appropriate. One cannot capture the blowing wind, and it is even more difficult to capture the turbulent mind. The easiest way to control the mind, as suggested by Lord Chaitanya, is chanting Hare Krishna, the great mantra for deliverance in all humanity. The method prescribed is Savai Manah Krishna Pradaravindayo. One must engage one's mind fully in Krishna. Only then will there remain no other engagements to the to agitate the mind. So Krishna is speaking Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna in the most critical situation. Arjuna is in the battlefield and he is confused that he has to fight the battle with his relatives. Many of them going to be killed. So out of compassion, Arjuna declines to fight. At that time, Krishna, first of all, Krishna is Arjun's friend. Uh, so he is speaking to Arjuna. But Krishna wanted Arjuna to just execute his order. But how can Krishna instruct someone who is not his disciple? Therefore, first Arjuna, he agreed, yes, Sishyasteham sadhimam tam prapannam. I am your disciple. Then Krishna started first chastising. Prajnavadamscha bhasasya gatasu nagatasam sannanusuchanti pandita. Arjuna, you are talking like a very learned man, but you are mourning for what is not worthy of grief. What is this? So, the point is, Krishna, he is ready to instruct Arjuna the process of karma, jnana, and yoga, of course, bhakti, by which common people can approach Krishna. So, at this point in time, after instructing Arjuna about the process of Ashtanga Yoga, he has created a confusion in Arjun's mind because the process which just Krishna explained about the practice of Ashtanga Yoga, he has to go to a secluded place and Chaila Jina Kushattara, the asan, the sitting place, it should not be very low or very high, nati ucha. And so, and also he has to sit straight without keeping his eyes fully closed, should be half closed and looking at the tip of the nose. So, when Krishna instructed Arjuna that you have to practice this Ashtanga Yoga, Krishna said, impossible. Chanchalam hi manah Krishna pramati bulabhadranam. Tasyaham nigraham manye vayuri vasuduskaram. He's saying one may be successful in controlling the wind, which is not possible, impossible, right? That means he's saying, Krishna, you are asking me to undertake certain practice which is impossible. Prabhupada comments very nicely. He's saying Arjuna was a warrior and great devotee. He was a king. In his position, he declined. It is not practical. It's impossible. So how can, in modern society, who are dedicated to some gymnasium acts in the name of so-called yoga practice, can achieve success? Nowadays, in the name of yoga practice, people, they accept certain disciples who looks like they are their students learning yoga, but they don't actually tell them the actual goal of yoga. They don't know actually. And also the set of practices they instruct their disciples, that is just to keep their body fit for sense enjoyment. That's the goal. They want to practice some asana, pranayama. Why? So the body is fit for sense enjoyment. But there are yama, niyama, even before asana. Brahmacharya, aparigraha. They have to practice celibacy without accumulating more than what is necessary for the body and soul to keep together. This is yama, niyama. Then saucha, santosha. They have to be pure. Even they have to indriya samyama. They have to control their senses. Their food habit has to be pure. These things are also part of Ashtanga Yoga practice, but nobody is teaching all these things, right? And people think this is a very simple and easy process. Just go, sit there, practice some asana. But what is the goal? Nobody knows. I went to one yoga society in Bratislava. I gave a class. They're all local people coming to practice Hatha Yoga. In the beginning, I asked, I said, what is the goal of your yoga practice? Nobody could say why they're practicing this yoga. Then first of all, I had to explain them and establish that the goal of yoga is to attain the service under the lotus feet of Krishna, which they are actually searching for in daily life. But they do not know because nobody is explaining them. This is the problem. So the point is, even if they explain, still they will not be able to execute the practices which will help them to connect with Krishna. It's a long journey. First of all, they have to give up their material desires because there is a process of jnana. Along with material desire, they cannot succeed in practice of Ashtanga Yoga. They have to be sense controlled. How many people are there can control their senses at this point in time? Impossible. These are all impossible practices. So without bhakti, jnana is like, motherless. Jnana, the mother of jnana is bhakti. If mother is not there, child is like an abandoned child. What is the value of such a child without mother? So no use, right? The child has to be accompanied by his mother. Then the child's greatness is seen in the society established. So they teach jnana, but without bhakti. When we say bhakti, bhakti means bhakti is to Bhagavat Sangena Parijayate. Unto whom? Unto Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is called bhakti. Bhakti does not mean that, yes, I have devotion. You know why? Because I want to practice this so that I can enjoy my senses. That is not bhakti. That is kama. Where it is coming from? From mind. There are 10 functions of mind. Kama, sankalpa, vichikitsa, shraddha, ashraddha, dhriti, srihi, bhi. These are the faculties of mind. What is mind? People, they don't understand what is mind. There are so many institutions in this world today, they are also talking about the mind, mind, mind. It's very simple. Krishna, he explains that there are 24 elements which constitute this material body. This mind is also one of these elements, which is material. Man, buddhi, ahankar, right? These are subtle elements. They are part of the material body. But they are matter, actually. They are material. They are not spiritual entities. So, but people, they are confused. They don't know how this mind functions actually. Very difficult to know. Here from Upanishad, Prabhupada has quoted from Kathopanishad, Atmanam Rathinam Vidhi. Atma means the soul is the charioteer, the passenger sitting on this chariot of the body. Sariram Rathamevacha. Sarira, this body, is the chariot, and soul is mounted on the chariot. But what is happening? Buddhim tu sarathim vidhi. Who is the driver? Buddhi. Intelligence is now driving. So, he can drive independently? No. Manaha pragrahamevacha. So, mind is a driving instrument that, you have seen there is a rein held by the driver when he is driving the chariot. And it is said, Indriyani hayain ahu. Haya means horse. The senses are like horses. Very interesting. Senses cannot independently enjoy without the help of mind. So, mind has to be there. An example we can take, just like sometimes we have seen, maybe somebody is calling you If your mind is not there, you will not be able to hear the voice. You have experience, right? Senses are there. Sense is there. Sense of hearing is there. But, you know, your mind is somewhere else. You can't hear the voice. Similarly, any kind of enjoyment, any kind of sense enjoyment, without mind, it does not take place. So mind has to be there. So therefore, mind is like, that rain which is connected with all the horses who are representing the senses. There is a close connectivity. Huh? And Vishayangs Tesu Gocharan. So the mind and senses, they come together and they try to enjoy the sound, form, touch, smell, Vishaya, uh, tanmatras. So Tesu means both of them combined together. Neither mind nor senses can independently enjoy. So they have to come together. Tesu gocharan. Uh, so Atmendriya manojukta. When this here Atma and Indriya, mm, uh, when they come together, then the individual soul thinks, I am enjoying. Still, it is not clear how it happens actually. Let us see it from our Acharya's explanation. You see, as I said, mind is material element, right? Ahankara, bhinna, prakriti, rashtada. That is matter. That is not spirit. Means doesn't have consciousness. But the way mind functions, it looks like it's a conscious entity. Right? So how this equation functions? Jiva Goswami, he explains the cognition of the mind is different from the actual cognition of the soul. Soul is eternally conscious. It's a conscious entity. It has its consciousness intact. Where did this consciousness come from? Because Krishna says, Mamai Vamsho Jiva Loke, Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. Huh? So, Jiva being the part and parcel of Krishna, and Krishna being supreme conscious entity, Nitya Nityanam, Chetanas Chetananam. There are many Nityas, but there is one supreme Nitya. Who is that? Krishna. And Chetana Chetananam. There are many conscious entities, but all these conscious entities are supported by the supreme conscious being, or the consciousness which are seen in the Anu Atma have its source in Vibhu Atma, Paramatma. Chetanas Chetananam. And he is maintaining everybody. So, this consciousness is coming from Krishna to soul, that we understand. That's why soul is conscious entity. But what is the source of the cognition of the mind? Huh? So mind is an object, just like we can take an example. You have sponge, sponge? When you dip it in a red color water and you bring it out, the sponge looks red, right? In a yellow water, it looks yellow. Black water, it looks black. It has absorbing capacity. So, Krishna says in the 15th chapter, Sariram jad avapnoti jad chat utkramatishvara grihit kvaitani sangyati vayur gandha nivashayat. Just like wind, air carries aroma of a uh, lotus flower or rose flower. Here we have different kind of roses which have got nice fragrance. I have seen very nice. India we don't have so much of fragrant, roses.
We grow them ourselves for Krishna in the garden because the flowers you buy in the shop they don't smell.
They don't smell. Yes.
So we grow certain kinds
Yes.
that smell.
That's very nice. Krishna likes fragrant flowers. So, if you go near the rose garden, just stand, you'll see the air will carry the aroma to your nostril. Where the aroma coming from? The flower. That is the uh, source. Huh? So, as wind blows, wind is not fragrant actually. Wind is carrying the fragrance, the subtle thing, right? Similarly, mind has no fragrance. Mind has no impression. At the time of leaving the body, the mind is carrying the essence in form of fragrance, which is a very subtle thing. What are those? That is impressions. What are the impressions? Different senses there, like you taste certain kind of food, meat eaters, different types of meat they eat, uh, different things, okay? Taste, touch. It creates an impression which prompts the jiva to further get connected with such kind of experiences in a different body. So, in the past life, whichever body he was entangled into, so whatever enjoyment he had, the material enjoyment, that has created an impression in form of subtle uh, thing. That is like just like fragrance of the lotus. Lotus is there, but wind is carrying the fragrance. When the soul leaves the body, the senses remain intact with the body. We have never seen that senses are going out, disappearing when soul leaves the body. No, senses are there. Just like rose is there, but the wind is carrying the subtle uh, entity, which is fragrance. Similarly, your senses are here, still with the body. But the impression, the subtle thing, carried by the mind. But mind is still dead matter, not conscious entity. Okay? Then next time, when this mind, intelligence, ego, they enter into another body, what happens? The soul is there in the heart. So the mind is also there in the heart. Now you can understand, even though we said mind is a matter, and mind does have cognition. So what kind of cognition, where it is coming from? Now we need to understand this. Because mind is the main troublemaker. When the mind is in proximity to the soul, that is where the mind is being powered by the reflection of the soul. Because soul is eternally conscious. Just like you can say, here conscious means Brahma, it has its own vibration, its own effulgence. If a mirror is kept near the effulgence light, you can see mirror is reflecting, right? Or you can say, if there are dots accumulated on the surface of a mirror, Without light, you cannot see there is dust accumulated in the mirror. Make sense? When there is mirror and a lot of dust, in just like that, there is no light, you cannot recognize. As soon as light reflects on it, you can see there is dirt. Make sense? So similarly, the mind, the material mind is carrying the impression of our previous life. It has got so many dirts. And when it is being powered by the soul, that is when mind is able to see so many dirts there. And he is there. And now what is happening? Soul is identifying with the mind. So those impressions are so interesting for him. That is how this entanglement. And that is how you can see the consciousness. See, the mind, when it is powered by the soul, it has its own cognition, which is different from the cognition of the soul, which is Krishna consciousness. Therefore, now, when the soul identifies with this mind, intelligence, and ego, that is when he acts on the foreign nature of the mind, that impression he had carried from the previous life. And he starts acting on those causes, impressions. So here you can see that's how the mind's impression, the material mind's impression, the cognitions are different from the cognition of the soul, which is eternal. Soul's cognition is eternal. So what actually we are trying to do? We are asked to follow the practices of sadhana bhakti. What is sadhana bhakti? Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atma Nivedanam, Deepam Sarpita Vishnu, Bhakti Navalakshana. Navadha Bhakti, 9 limbs of devotional service. We undertake. Why do we undertake? This is nothing but purifying the mind, consciousness. See, mind carrying the impression. When you act on that impression, it becomes more intensified. But if you don't act on that impression, then what happens? It will, and if you, cultivate uh, chanting of the holy name, uh, seeing the deity, honoring only Krishna Prasadam, gradually, mind, he gets transformed. Gradually, it absorbs Krishna consciousness. As I said, I gave the example, sponge, you dip it in a color water, it will have that color. Of its own, there is nothing actually. Whatever it comes in contact with, it assumes the color. So similarly, when the mind is in constant touch with Krishna conscious practices, means you are actually trying to dip your mind in a bowl of Krishna consciousness. Huh? And it sucks, it absorbs. What happens? Then it will give up the taste for these material things. Now the impression is bhakti. Mind also carry that impression. Pure mind, pure consciousness. That time, automatically, the jiva will have no desire to enjoy in this material world. Huh? So, therefore, this verse is very, very important for us to know that Arjuna is saying Krishna that it's very difficult. Why it is difficult? If you simply try to create more impression on the material plane, it will become more difficult. On the other hand, if this mind is absorbed in Krishna consciousness, in devotional service, It's very easy. The difference between a devotee trying to control the mind and so-called jnani trying to control the mind is jnani has undertaken some mechanical practice. As a devotee, he is naturally trying to train the mind to give up its color in the material plane. But in case of jnana, what is happening? Because there is no bhakti, then what happens? Jnana becomes dry. Motherless, I said. It's dry. Huh? If the baby doesn't have mother, that means baby is not smeared oil in his body. His hair is scattered. If mother is there, she will ensure that baby is his hair is you know, combed nicely. There is decoration in the body, and nicely dressed. Huh? She will put oil in the body of the baby, right? So baby will look very beautiful. So that knowledge without bhakti is losing its beauty. Huh? Loses its beauty. So then, what happens? Anytime there is danger, like it happened to Savari Muni, right? Doing tapasya underwater. But as soon as he saw these two fishes coming together, he got agitated. Even you can see Durvasa Muni. Durvasa Muni, he was such a great ascetic. He immediately got angry upon Ambarish Maharaj. Why did he not feed me first? Without feeding me, he dared to break his fast? No, how is it possible? Anger. They couldn't control. Whereas Ambarish Maharaj, he was so calm, composed. And finally, Krishna was on the side of Ambarish Maharaj. Durvasa was running around here and there for shelter. Chakra is behind him because you have offended my devotee. Krishna is thinking. So he is protecting his devotee. Because Ambarish Maharaj was engaged in devotion. The Prabhupada giving here, Sabai Mana Krishna Padar Vindayo Vasangsi Vaikuntha Gunan Varnane Karau Harer Mandir Marjana Dishu Srutim Chakara Chidu Satkathodaya Mukunda Lingalaya Darsana Drisho Padascha. We use our hands to serve the Lord, clean the temple. With feet we walk to the temple. With eyes we see the beautiful form of the Lord. With tongue we release Tulasi and Krishna Prasad. So this is the difference between a Bhakti Yogi and so-called Ashtanga Yogi. Ashtanga Yogi, he doesn't want to eat. He doesn't want to eat, but we say eat prasadam. Not only one type, varieties of type. Charva chusya leho peya. Salt rasa. 6 types of rasa. Astringent, pungent, sweet, salty, sour. Different kind of items. Devotees there, taste. No, you don't have to give up eating. You can eat nice prasadam. But a yogi is not eating. What is this? You think by not eating you can control? No, by not eating you cannot control. You have to eat Krishna Prasada. So, our process is training the senses by bringing them in contact with the transcendental object. Whereas they deny everything. No, this is not Brahman, this is not Brahman. They don't understand what is Brahman. What is not Brahman in this world, tell me? Anna Brahma, Jala Brahma, everything is Brahma. Because that is Brahman's energy. And we use it to remain connected with Param Brahma. But they want to deny everything. That's a problem. So therefore, here Prabhupada explained this Savai Manah Krishna Pradhara Vindyo, the example of Maharaj Ambarish, that he engaged his bodily limbs in Krishna's service. That's how he was successful in controlling the mind. Similarly, the devotees, they don't separately endeavor to control the mind. Control will automatically come just like a byproduct. You know, byproduct? Side effect, right? You are bringing paddy to the husking meal. You are not going there to get the husk. You are going there to get the rice. But as you husk the paddy, automatically you get the husk. So similarly, when you are serving Krishna, the Krishna Prema is the goal. When we are getting, automatically as a side product, the mind is also getting controlled. Disturbances are automatically gone. Therefore, we don't separately cultivate this process of controlling the mind. So many courses are happening. No, every day we have to do the same thing. What? Wake up early in the morning, take bath, come to temple.
Get up or stay there.
Right? That's a very practical, very, yes, very practical process. Of course, we have to also take care of the material body. This is also very important. But you cannot say, no, I become devotee. You just become callous. You neglect. No. Because this is material body. It will act according to the law of material nature. So you have to maintain it. This is just like a machine. Machine is used to get a product from the machine. Machine is not just machine itself. Machine is a means to get the goals. So this body is a machine which will help us to reach the destination. So if we don't take care of the machine, then how we will get the goal? So we understand this. Therefore, when it comes to taking rest, the body should also get rest. Prabhupada says, now he says, first health, then sadhana, after that service. Means service will be enjoyed by somebody who has a good health, means consciousness, and also his sadhana is good. Otherwise, service will become like a burden. Yes, you cannot enjoy. So, balance has to be maintained. So, all these instructions given by Krishna, including how the mind is so turbulent, and a devotee has to first of all control the mind. Otherwise, his life will be very difficult in Krishna consciousness. But that is possible simply by regularly practicing Navadha Bhakti. That is our process. And one more interesting point in this connection, we should remember, we should not think that, oh, I have undertaken this practice of Navadha Bhakti. That means automatically my mind will be controlled. You may ask this question, just now you said by bhakti only one can control the mind, then why are you again denying that? No, there is another aspect to it. That is, without saying, it is automatically understood. What is that factor? Prabhupada is saying, no, he's saying that one should not think that, oh, I am now practicing sadhana bhakti means I will achieve the goal. No. Krishna's mercy, Krishna will give you the goal. So when Krishna is becoming merciful, then only you will get the goal. Means when you are practicing the bhakti, you should also remain dependent on the mercy of the Supreme Lord. Otherwise, you are becoming dependent on your own endeavor. Your own endeavor cannot get you there. Your endeavor is actually bringing you closer to Krishna's mercy. It is attracting Krishna's mercy, that's it. Because you're practicing so hard, that attracts Krishna's mercy. Without his mercy, your endeavor independently remains ineffective to get the goal. So, we have to do our part, at the same time remain fully dependent on his mercy. Then it will work. तो वो कृपा बिना किछु नहीं को उपाय. There is no other way out without your blessings. So, Krishna consciousness is science, Prabhupada says. That means when we have followed it as it is, it will work. If we don't follow as it is, then there will be some problem. That's it. Yes.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji, first of all, because since several days I was having several questions which I don't know how to ask as well.
Okay.
But today's session has given me almost all the answers that I was requesting Guru Parampara and Krishna from my heart. Can you please help me out? Can you please help me out? So today I got pinpoint answer of these questions. This is one thing. And the second
Thank you for confirming us.
Yes, yes.
We are here to serve.
And one my question is that Prabhuji, first when I came to Krishna consciousness, I was very rebellious, and then I was doing service in rebellions. Huh? Boss. Yes, yes, I know. Yes, yes. Because first when I came, so I have been very rebellious to certain things, and slowly through years, by the blessing of the Lord, by the blessing of senior devotees, and when senior gives the service, we get daily experience. Now it's not rebellion in like normal way that we can like to serve, but in provoking situations. How to be humble? Actual, first of all, what is humility? Because I don't know. Secondly, how can we be humble in provoking situations? And most importantly, I'm afraid of two things. One, I told Maya, and second, I told Dosh Darshan. I am so much afraid of that. On normal day, it's okay, but when it's provoking situation, my mind throws, and at that time, my because then that makes bad my consciousness to serve, and that happens. That is happening with me recently. So how not to do those darshan because I'm afraid of that because then it will spoil my consciousness to serve. So how to control mind? How can be humble? So please.
Very important question, but we have another follow-up today. We need to take breakfast, and in 1 hour we need to leave.
Okay.
So just answer.
This agitation or anything, these are caused on what aspect? Liking and disliking. right? If you don't like something, you get agitated. You like, you get carried away. Means sukha and dukha, happiness, distress. Huh? Guna, dosha. Guna means something you like. Dosha means something you don't like. Make sense?
Yes.
Just let us understand this. Something you like, something you don't like. From this point, everything starts actually. So Bhagavad Gita says, Vihaya kaman yo sarvan pumanscharati nispriha nirmamo nirahankara so santim adhigacchati. Vihaya kaman ja sarvan puman charati nispriha. You see, yesterday also I told that whatever we desire, we will not get. But what is necessary, Krishna is going to give it to us. We need to understand this first of all. That's why Vihaya Kaman. I know whatever I want, I will not get. Then why should I desire? Nispriha. I am satisfied with whatever I have. I don't want to desire what I don't have. Okay? Then mama aham mameti ahankar. Hmm. Nirmama, nirahankar. Even Bhagavatam says, Guna dosha drishir dosha. Gunastu bhayavarjita. What is guna, what is dosha? People don't understand. What is good and what is bad? He says, guna dosha drishir dosha. When you see this is good, this is bad, this notion itself is a bad quality. Gunastu bhayavarjita. You give up this idea of judging on the material plane what is good and what is bad. You just remember this. That is actual guna. On the material side, we should not see good or bad. In bhakti, yes, context. But in material side, we should give up this. Meditate on this, you will be successful. Mother has given the time. Afterwards, if you are confused, take the number and call me. I will explain. We have all the answers from Bhagavatam ready by our side.
Sorry to keep you short. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Very much appreciated. I will have a few points for the points that you made to reinforce it.
Yeah.
Time.
Yeah. Right.
I made a drawing.
Good. Yeah, noticed. Good. Yeah.
Yeah, this here
Krishna.
and this here.
Yeah.
Enjoy. Don't look at this. This is my notes.
Yeah.
See the difference. I will show it in the.
Here only me. There is no Krishna.
Yeah.
Here is Krishna in the center. Then.
So many me's, no conflict. So.
Okay. So
that's all me-centered, the first drawing. And here is Krishna in the center, and me is revolving around Krishna.
So this means that if we are just concentrating on me, myself, all the different interests, they are going to clash. Wherever, hold this for a minute, wherever there's a crossing, there is going to be a problem. Mine, no, yours, no, mine. Yours and mine and yours and mine. There's going to be so many conflicts. And everybody is fighting all the time, and everybody is all the time trying to get there, right there. I'm right and you're wrong. This is good, this is bad, this is all this. But if you put Krishna in the center, You can have 100 millions and more numbers of me, and they will never cross each other because they have one centered thing, which is Krishna's interest. And then everything is no war, no nothing.
Thank you. I hope it was helpful. Helpful.
So now we all have to prepare the breakfast. Please take breakfast as soon as possible. Wash your plates after that, please. And then if you think that you need a break, take a short break. But then we will at 10, between 10 and 10:30, we have to go.
Yeah, quick.
Thank you so much. It was really amazing.
Yes,
Especially the science of samskaras, Prabhu, is like really, really magical what you explained. I tried to recall, we have it. So it's also on YouTube, Prabhu. We go through that. It bounced off the mind. It was very deep, but there is a video backup, so I was chilling.
Okay, no problem.
Prabhu, I have one request, if you don't mind. I don't know what brings you to this part of the world. Once a year, you're coming to Europe or something, or what?
Because devotee asked me to come do some preaching.
So, can we count on you once a year to come and visit us?
Haribol!
Because we need, Bhakti-Bhushan Swami for many years came regularly, and now he's doing other things. Bhakti Prabhu Swami also coming regularly every year, and also he is doing other things, and so many others that are coming here. So it would be very nice for you to come here regularly once a year when you come in this part of the world to put us on the program.
Yeah.
Are you interested in getting some pictures from what's going to happen today, so that you can have it for yourself?
Yeah.
Do you allow me to
Yeah.
your number on my WhatsApp?
Yeah.
And I send you?
Yeah. You have my number. You have.
Maybe I have, but
You have. You send me message, no?
I did send you message.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, then I did.
Then I gave my bio and my photo. You want to?
Okay. Great. Yeah, I forgot about all this.
You have.
I need to make room for Krishna in my brain, so I forget
Yeah.
unimportant things.
Yeah. You have.
Thank you very much. Very much appreciated.
Thank you, Mataji.
Very interesting.
Where are you from?
He was here already, but then you.
Thank you, dear devotees, for participating. See you in Rath Yatra.
Where are you from?
2-3 hours. And everyone,
Where are you from?
and then start your journey to
Take
Vishwa.
breakfast,
Hare
take
Krishna.
rest.
Yeah. I'm asking, where are you from? Ukraine. Okay, that's all. Okay, good.
Refugee.
Okay, so we are here to serve. Yeah, our Krishna conscious philosophy is very interesting and tasteful, and it is science. When it is understood properly, it helps a lot actually. This kind of clear analytical discussion is gives a it's like a tonic for bhakti. It strengthens us.
Yeah, but sometimes we don't understand what happened with us and how we can apply this knowledge by our life.
That is why this kind of discussion helps find.
Especially in this case when you explain us about consciousness. Consciousness is from soul. Mind is material, but material like soul, like consciousness. Material is not consciousness, but it for me I hearing it sometimes that mind is not a consciousness. How it can be? I'm thinking I'm attracted to other. It's not who attractive.
Blessings.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. My English is not good. I put on translation and try to see what translation said and